Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Throwing some of Scott selections here for Monday, January 13th. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. Had a loss in the NBA, had the Jazz minus 3.5 at minus 110 on FanDuel. Pretty much a heartbreaker. No way else to put it. Point is, couple of things went against us. First of all, the injury report again in the NBA screwed us at the last minute. Classic NBA, as the Jazz benched half their players right before the game. Kessler didn't play, Laurie didn't play, and you saw Collins not play either. Sexton play, but it was a bunch of bench players basically getting starter minutes, which is very unfortunate for us. But even with that being the case, the Jazz still looked good for most of the game. They led by 13 at home with about 6:06 left in regulation. Led by 13 at home. We had 3.5. They choked away the entire 13-point lead. Game went to overtime. The Jazz did win, but they didn't win by enough as they only won by one. So I think it's safe to assume if any of the main starters did play in the game, the Jazz would have covered. But either way, point is we got a bit unlucky there based on the choke job and based on the injury report. Picked a loss there. Look for a winner here on Monday. For the next play, though, I want to remind you once more plays on the website. So you can check the website's promo code WEH45 to get 25% for purchase. Plus, a reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channels. For the actual play, going to switch things up a little bit. Going to go to tennis. It's Australian Open time. Going to look at a couple of men's matches taking place in the first round on Monday night. So I said a couple. It's going to be a two-pick parlay that pays at a minus 124 on FanDuel. It's going to be Medvedev to win in straight sets parlayed with the Busta and Mikchuk match. Both players who win a set or over 3.5 sets, however you want to phrase it, and that pays out a minus 124 on FanDuel. Time recording of 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. So the cover's going to go with the parlay here in this match. First, in these matches. First reason, Medvedev has been a great Australian Open player in the past. He's reached the final 3 times here, and he's also the defending runner-up. He lost in the final last year to Sinner as he led 2-0, and then he fell apart. Point is, though, Medvedev has been really good here for a long time. He's a very good hardcourt player because he's extremely solid behind the baseline, doesn't commit many errors. He's pretty consistent when it comes to keeping, I'd say, his weaker opponents at bay, and I do think he'll be able to eventually wear down this opponent in straight sets. I think you're looking at him against a pretty weak opponent I'll mention in a second, and I think it's definitely a mismatch as he should win comfortably. Now, his opponent in this one is a wildcard entry named Samrej, who is really not that good. He's lost each of his last 3 matches against weak competition. I'm actually not sure why he's here, to be honest, but point is he is definitely going to be dealing with, I'd say, a lot of stress throughout the entire match because Medvedev is probably going to destroy him. Now, Medvedev is minus 10,000 on the money line. He is minus 600 to win in straight sets, so he's projected to destroy this guy. I think it's going to happen that way. I think that this opponent really has no weapons to offer that can threaten Medvedev. I see a very lopsided match. Could be 6-3s across the board, maybe even more than that. But the point is, you're looking at Medvedev, who should dominate. I think it's basically a free parlay leg. I'll throw it in there to once again make this parlay pretty affordable. And for the second play, going to go with the Busta Mikchuk match over 3.5 sets. 4 of Busta's last 5 matches did not end in straight sets. He's been losing, but he's been competitive, and I do think it's going to be a competitive matchup here when these two get together. Now, Mikchuk has been winning recently, did qualify for the event, so he had to go through qualifying, but the matches mostly were not easy, as he did lose at least one set in 4 of his last 5 matches. So both guys tend to drop sets pretty frequently, and I think both guys will look pretty sharp in what should be a very even battle based on the moneyline price and based on the style of play. Both guys do love to stand by the baseline. They are not afraid to try to outlast each other, not afraid to unload on the forehand as well. I see a pretty even war. It might go 5 sets potentially, but I do think that each player should win at least one set, and if that happens, we do win that portion of the parlay. Plus, they faced off one time last year. It was the most recent meeting. Faced off on clay, but it went to a deciding set, and each set was an absolute sweat. So point is, all 3 sets were competitive. The whole match was a toss-up, and I think you're looking at what should be a similar story here in this matchup in the first round here in the Australian Open. Give me both players win a set, though. I think it's a pretty safe option for what should be at least a 4-set match. So once again, the play of the day here for Monday, January 13th is going to be on a 2-pick parlay in the Australian Open. Going to go with Medvedev to win in straight sets with the Medvedev 3-0 set betting. Parlayed with Busta and Mikchuk over 3.5 sets, or both plays to win a set there at minus 124 on FanDuel. Bye, everyone.